Great. Okay. So we are going to go over our training today, which is finishing the year strong. We want to have tangible and specific actions we can start doing now to build momentum to reach our end of year goals. So you'll be amazed. So many people are quick to give up now, and there's no need to give up now. This is a great month for opportunity to sell more business, especially with the more seasoned veteran agents. They are taking time off now because it's the holiday. However, our prospects that we're used to talking to, they want to end the year strong. And a lot of times you'll be able to write business where you didn't think you would be able to. I think Jennifer Dasani had her best month in January, where she sold $87,000 worth of AP. And I said January, I meant December. She sold 87,000 in AP, and that was her best month. So just because it's Christmas, just because New Year's Eve is rolling around and you're feeling festive, don't stop your momentum. Keep going. December is a great month to have record-breaking sales. So we're going to go over some tangible things that we can do. So that way, not only will we end the year off strong, but we can set the momentum for next year. Again, you want to set yourself apart from other agents that are slowing down, and you will prove to yourself that you can stay consistent, which gives you confidence, which sets a great start for the year. And again, this year is not over. Finishing the year strong will allow the momentum to continue into the year. Oftentimes, December brings distractions because of holidays, but it also builds opportunity. So while most agents are pulling back, you want to be the one that pushes forward, get ahead, grab the business where everybody else is leaving it on the table. And then you'll have a powerful January. So here's some tangible things that we can do. So number one, we're going to go over the psychology of the prospect. Then after that, we're going to go over some tips on working your existing pipeline. You want to master it's the holiday objection. And you want to increase your daily output during the Christmas/New Year week. So Christmas is 7 days, literally, from the New Year. So this year, Christmas is on a Thursday. New Year's Day is on a Thursday. So what we have to do during that time, especially if you're not working Christmas Eve and Christmas, you want to adjust your daily goals so you can still reach your weekly goals, which will help you stay on track to reach your December goal. So some of the things that we can do is, number one, understand that with our clients, a lot of times they are seniors or they're disabled, so they're more likely to be home. December is a cold month. It's a rainy month. Sometimes it's a snow month for a lot of people. So they're not going to want to go out. It gets darker sooner, so they're going to be home because most of our seniors, they do not want to drive in the dark. So they're more likely for them to be home. AEP is wrapping up on December 7th. So now they're not avoiding the calls anymore because they know, okay, these AEP is wrapping up. So this couldn't be the agent trying to change my Medicare Advantage plan. It must be something else. So they're more likely to be home. They're more likely to answer. And the best time to reach people is 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. their time. And then again, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. their time. You want to make sure, this is like prime time, You want to make sure you're calling during these hours because it's more likely for you to reach them in the morning and in the evening because, again, it gets darker sooner. So typically it's dark around 5:30, and people are trying to get home because they don't like driving in the dark. They don't want to be out there with the rush hour. They don't want to be out there trying to figure out how to get home and all that kind of stuff with traffic. So those 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. sales tend to be highest because those are the ones who want to be able to get a jump on whatever goals they've set for themselves where they want to end the year out strong. So a lot of sales happen in the morning. And then in the evening, you'll be surprised. It's 6 o'clock and you're like, oh, I want to get off the phone. But lo and behold, someone will answer and you might wind up making a sale before you end your day. You still want to call in the afternoon because still you'll get people from that 12 to 4 p.m. range that do answer. But these are the best times for sure in order to get people on the phone. Also, during the holiday season, people are more emotional because they are remembering people they have lost, like their parents, their kids, unfortunately, their siblings. Sometimes they're remembering how hard it was to pay for their funeral or their cremation, and they don't want that burden on the family, or they want to make a change and do something different because they remember how stressful it was and how hard it was to come up with that money. So they're going to feel more emotional, especially during the holiday season. Loss feels closer. And then they want to get their affairs in order now versus waiting until the end of the year because they want to end the year off right. And people are more about thinking about life insurance during this time, especially if they've lost a loved one during this time. Now, some of the things that we can do during this time is call lapsed policies. So this is a challenge I want everybody to write down. When we get off the phone and next week, I want you guys to log into AMS, look through your book of business, and look through all of those people who lapsed their policy. You tried reaching out to them. You couldn't get them on the phone. So you want to reach out to those people, call them. And if they don't answer, you just leave a voicemail that says, hey, this is Lisa Daniel, your insurance lady. We haven't spoken in a while, and I just want to see how you're doing during this holiday season. Give me a call back. And a lot of times, we get, again, because people are feeling festive and they're in a more lightened mood, they'll reach back out. You talk with them for a little bit, see how they're doing. And then you say, hey, I notice you don't have any coverage anymore. And the last time you had your coverage, you were telling me how it's important for you to have something in place where you don't leave that burden on your family to figure out how to pay for your burial or cremation. So what we could do is you can start your coverage next month or when you get your next Social Security benefits. That way you don't have to make any back payments to get caught up. Then you'll have your coverage, and now you can get your peace of mind knowing that you can remove that burden from your family. You'll be amazed. A lot of people, especially during this time, will take you up on that offer. You already have their information, so you just copy and paste the information into a new application. You want to verify their health is still the same. Verify the prescriptions that they're taking is still the same. And then next thing you know, you got an application, and you don't leave it at that. You make sure you get them the coverage and then say, hey, do you have any friends or family that may need coverage? Because you know how hard it was for you when your parents passed away without any life insurance. Do you have any friends and family that I can help? See what they say. You can also say, hey, it's the end of the year. It's a great time to give a gift for your grandkids to get covered. It's really affordable. It's pennies a day. So you can write a small policy on the grandkids, and you'll be amazed because it's only $10 a month or $5 a month. People will buy. And the good news is those little policies add up, and it's like a free lead where you didn't have to pay to get that business. So you also want to call the almost sales. So let's say you have some prospects you spoke with, you gave them a presentation, you maybe spoke to them a month or two ago, and they were like, oh, let me call you back. And you tried hard with that objection, but you couldn't get them to budge on doing an application now. You tried following up with them and they ghosted you. So you want to send them a text saying, hey, this is Lisa Daniel. We spoke a month ago about burial and cremation insurance. It's the holiday and I hope you and your family are doing well. Give me a call back. Let me just say, I'll say, have you gotten your coverage yet? Type Y for yes, N for no. And you'll be amazed. People will type Y. And if they type Y, then you know they already have their coverage. I will still send them a quote. I got this from Jennifer Bassani, where I say, well, I just called you to see if I can save you money on what you currently have. A $10,000 policy, and you quote them the best rate available from some of the carriers that you have. And you say a $10,000 policy is $40 a month. That's whole life immediate coverage. Give me a call back if you want to save some money, because I know you're on a fixed income like most of my clients. Sometimes people will call you back, or you can even say type Y for yes if you want me to reach out to go over the specifics. And you'll be surprised. People will reach out and you'll be able to write that policy. So it's a good thing to still follow up with those people who you had a good rapport with, but you weren't quite able to get them to go through the process of doing an application. Also, you want to call your clients that are having birthdays coming up in January and February for additional coverage. Because now you can call them up, say, hey, just want to see how you're doing during this holiday season. I notice you have a birthday coming up. Would you like to add additional coverage so you can lock in the rates at the lower amount before your birthday? You talk to them about that. If they don't answer, you leave that voicemail. If they don't, and then you text as well. And then what I like to say, type Y for yes and for no, kind of to keep them getting engaged so you'll know if they're interested, and those are the people you want to reach out to and possibly add the additional coverage. So those are ways that you can adjust during this holiday season, so that way for those days that you're not working, you'll still be able to keep your monthly goals. So any questions so far on working your existing business and the existing pipeline? So I don't see anybody in the chat. I don't see anyone stating anything. So I figured I'd ask just to make sure.
Hey, Lisa, I'd like to just pile on if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm a brokerage manager and I don't really even sell that much anymore. But as far as calling those lapse policies, this past weekend, I went through all of my lapse policies and was able to write 3 policies this past week for about $3,500 in premium. So
that's awesome.
Yep. So for those that aren't doing that and working that business, you're leaving low-hanging fruit on the tree.
Exactly. And that's because they know who you are. They trust you. They know you got them policy before and it was, fine. And you'll be amazed too. Those lapse policies, sometimes they feel embarrassed Sometimes they may feel, oh, she's not going to want to talk to me again because I lapsed my policy. And they want you to reach out to them, but they are afraid to reach out to you first. So call them up. And if they don't answer, text them. That breaks down those barriers. Just text them if they don't answer, saying, hey, this is Lisa Daniel, your insurance lady. Just want to see how you're doing. We haven't spoken in a while. And a lot of times people will reach out because they think that is so thoughtful that you're reaching out to them versus them having to reach out to you first. And like how you just said, you can write some business from the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, because those are people that they see the value of life insurance and they trust you. So any other success stories about lapse policies and maybe getting some policies on the books during this month? Because I feel like I'm rambling, so I just want to make sure everybody is alive and kicking on the other end.
Hey, Lisa, it's Michael. No success stories, but and I'm new, but in previous lives in other industries, I've done exactly what you're saying, and every year it's always turned into business for me. So great advice. Thank you.
Awesome. And again, don't forget the people that are your clients that have birthdays coming up too, because they want to add additional coverage a lot of times before their birthday. And knowing that getting the better rate as an incentive will push them to get that coverage now versus waiting till after their birthday. All right, so we'll go to the next one. So next we want to master the holiday objection. So I'm sure you've heard so many times before during training that our seniors that we work with can be procrastinators, and as they are called, professional procrastinators. But we can do things that will kind of push them into getting coverage now versus waiting until after the holiday. So I like the sales technique, feel, felt, found. The feel is definitely understand. The felt, I have clients who felt the same way. Here's what we found. That's the solution, the resolution that you're going to give them. So this call me after Christmas, that's them trying to blow you off until after Christmas, and you don't want to wait because technically they can get their coverage started after Christmas, but you want to get them covered or get the application now because you know how it goes. You're going to call back and they're going to go AWOL and you're like, where are they? And you're going to think they're MIA. No, they're trying to avoid you. So when you get them on the phone, the iron's hot now. So strike while the iron's hot. So if someone says, call me after Christmas, you, first of all, I like to start saying, well, it's a quick phone call. It doesn't take long. Most of my families I talk to, they feel the same way during this time of year. So that's the reason why we should get this handled now, because unfortunately, emergencies, they don't wait for the holidays. And the good news is you don't have to make any payments today. You can wait until after the holiday. And if you've already presented the rates, now you can ask them, so which one are you leaning closer to, the 10,000 or the 15,000? Or are there any other rates you would like for me to check? And then once they pick the one they like the best, so then you'd say, oh, great news. I've submitted the information you shared with me for a preliminary offer and the insurance company accepted it. So what that means is they're allowing us to submit an application now. Takes about 10 minutes. Then they'll give us a final decision. You'll have your policy in your hands within 10 business days, and you have your coverage start after the holiday. Now, what address should we mail your policy to? Then you be quiet and let them give you the address, and you start the application. The next objection for the holidays is I'm spending money on gifts right now, so money is tight. Again, you say, definitely understand, that's the feel. This time of the year stretches everyone. The good news is these plans are designed to fit within your budget. This is exactly why you need to find a plan now that's affordable to make sure your family is protected. So let's see what will fit in your budget. It's a quick phone call, takes less than 10 minutes. So at least you have something that's in place that's going to give you peace of mind. Or if someone's trying to add coverage, you can say at least you'll have enough coverage, and at the same time it fits comfortably in your budget. And then you continue with your presentation. All right, so we will go to the next page of some of the other objections that you have during the holiday. Some people will say, well, let's wait until January. And then I always like to say, yeah, I get it. Holiday stretches everyone. The good news is it's a quick phone call and you can get approved quickly now. That's the main thing, now. And you don't even have to pay anything today. We can set your first day of coverage after the holidays, and it could be even December 26th, because let's say someone gets paid on a Wednesday, you can have it that following Wednesday. So you're protected now. So we can set the first day of coverage for after the holidays, so you're protected, and the timing will work best for you. Do you get your benefits on the 3rd or a particular Wednesday? And you kind of go from there. If for some reason you speak to someone after December 18th and they want to wait until February, I do not like waiting that far in advance, but hey, if you have to do it, you can do it. Mutual of Omaha and Royal Neighbors of America will allow you to have their first day of coverage 45 days out. So some companies are doing 30 days, 35 days. Royal Neighbors of America and Mutual of Omaha, they go 45 days out. But I'm not a firm believer of doing that. That's as a last resort. I don't get paid until next month. No worries, Mary. Most of my clients I help this time of the year are in the same situation. Feel, felt, found. The good news is we can start your coverage where your first payment won't be until January. That way you'll have peace of mind knowing now you'll be covered. Okay? Any other objections that that anyone has gotten so far after Thanksgiving that you didn't know how to handle? So I will say during December, you're going to get a lot of people won't say a lot, but you'll get some people who want to just put this off because they're busy or they don't want to deal with it now. But the main thing, what I try to do is say, oh, it's a quick phone call. Doesn't take long. Let's at least see what the quotes are first. So that way we'll know what will fit in your budget. And then if you'd like, you can have your coverage start in January. And it's a quick call, takes less than 10 minutes. And usually people will stay on the phone and talk with me. And a lot of times I get an application done and they're happy, even though it took a little longer than 10 minutes. All right, so some things that we can do to increase your daily output during the Christmas/New Year week is number one, you want to increase your daily output through structure. Now is the time to stay focused because unfortunately there are going to be some days that we're not going to be working this month. So in order to stay on track with the goals you've set for yourself in December, you're going to have to stay more focused because we have less days this month to achieve the goal. So one of the things that I do is every day I have a goal that I write down. And then every week I have a goal that I write down. And every month I have a goal that I write down. And I break it down into small chunks so that way it's not overwhelming on figuring out how to reach those monthly goals. So what I do is I want to have 6 full presentations every day. And that doesn't mean I get halfway through and then they say, oh, call me back. No, I want to be able to present 3 rates and then get to the objections and do an application. Even if I don't do an application, but I get to those 3 rates, handle the objections, that's still a full presentation. Anything less than that is not a full presentation. So I want to do 6 full presentations, and typically that will allow me to have 2 sales daily. So every week I will have 6 to 10 sales a week. That way I can reach my monthly goal of $25,000 to $30,000 a month. And that helps me. Now, how I do this every day is I set a timer where I start the same time every day. So I start at 10 o'clock Eastern time and I don't stop until 7 p.m. If I'm doing a presentation, I don't stop until I finish that last presentation. If I'm doing an application, I don't stop until after that application. So there are times when I'm working 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. No worries. It's because I'm reaching my goals. And how I break it down into easy chunks, because sometimes just sitting at a desk saying, okay, I'm not going to be distracted, can seem overwhelming. So I break it down into hour chunks. I call them my power hour, where I set a timer for 1 hour. I dial for that hour. And if I don't get an application, then I give myself a 5 to 10 minute break. And then I rinse and repeat and do it throughout the whole day. I set my timer, and if I get an application, then I turn the timer off, finish the application, and then I give myself 5 to 10 minute break because I'm like, you earned it. So I rinse and repeat throughout the day. And when I break it down into these more manageable chunks, that helps me stay on task and stay focused on reaching my monthly goal, which helps me reach my yearly goal. All right, so another thing we can do is, again, think of the elephant. And you know the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So you always want to track your dials, how many people you contacted, how many presentations you did every day, how many sales you were able to do, when you wrote those applications, were they more in the morning, afternoon, or at night? And that helps you, again, to stay more focused on your goals, but actually see also what is working so you can rinse and repeat what is working. And that allows you to work smarter, not harder. So Brian wrote down or put in the chat, holidays are great as families get together and the chance to write more than one application. Example, my sister is here and she was looking at getting life insurance. That is so true. That is the reason why you always want to ask at the end about referrals. So I always ask about referrals, and it's a formula. I have my script. I have it down verbatim, and I make sure I read through that script. Yes, I know my script inside out and do it in my sleep. I do it so much, my kids and my husband knew my prescriptions before they grew up. I have one kid that's out of the house now. But they knew my presentation because they are always hearing me say it the same way every single time. And so on the on your script, you always want to end with, do you have any friends or family that need life insurance? What I do is I have a referral program where I give $25 Visa gift card. In this day and age, it may not seem like a lot, but it does add up. I have one client that gave me 10 referrals, and that was in a span of a month. And I sent her 10 gift cards, and she was very happy. So keep in mind that, like Brian says, you're going to have relatives and friends that are visiting. And if you sell someone a policy, You end it by saying, hey, I hope I did a service for you where you feel confident in your coverage. By the way, do you have any friends or family that I can help get them a policy that's going to give them peace of mind? Who do you know? What's their name? What's their phone number? And you'll be amazed. People will definitely allow you to help their friends and family. All right. So here are some ways to increase your daily output during the Christmas/New Year week. Number one, you want to have goals that are visible, written down, reviewed daily. And again, you want to share this in agent chat because we love seeing people make sales. I know for me, and I told this to Kim Dunn, I love those little, what do they call them? Emojis, I guess, where the crown is for royal neighbors, American Amicable gets the flag, Trans-America gets the Statue of Liberty. I love seeing those. And I love clicking on those, especially when you're new. Thank you, Kim. Especially when you're new. I love being able to see people say, oh, this is my first policy. Because I remember those days when I first started and you want to get that policy. You're so excited when you get it. And we are all in this. We're just as excited for you as well, because we know this business is not the easiest. So it's a good idea to put whatever successes you're having in the chat, because we are all in this together. Even if you're having a not so good day, that can help us to feel like we're not alone in this, because sometimes we all have these trends where we get into a slump and you're feeling like you're speaking to all these people but not getting a sale. That helps you to see that you're not by yourself. I'm sorry, I have allergies and my nose is congested, but I remember Ben Euler one time, and he's one of our top agents. He went, I want to say he did 35 presentations. It was a lot of presentations, and he didn't get a sale. And the minute he posted it, he got a sale. So if you feel that you're in a slump, post it in chat, saying I'm going to push through even though I'm in this slump, and you'll be amazed. A lot of times that gets you out of the slump. So make sure you're tracking your goals, but you're also sharing it with us so we can see the sales that you're making. Because it is nice to see when people have grand slams and hat tricks. All right, some key takeaways for success. Number one, your existing pipeline of customers, they have money waiting for you. Those are the low-hanging fruit. Lay down sales. They trust you. They know you. So they are waiting for you to reach out to them to add additional coverage, especially before their birthday. And those clients where their policies have lapsed, those are great opportunities as well, because they know the value of insurance. They know you and they trust you. December is not a slow season. It's a season of hidden opportunity. So just because someone tells you no, N-O, that doesn't mean they're telling you no, don't call me again. That means they want a K-N-O-W. They want to know what other options they have where they don't have to pay today. That's most of the objections that people are having during this holiday season if they see the value of having coverage. So don't slow down. The end of the year is a strong month for a lot of agents. You'll be amazed that people are making record breaking sales numbers during December. Also know that small policies add up. Reach out to your clients, see if they have any grandkids that need coverage or that they want to have coverage. I have a client now that she has a new grandson that's coming any day now. And I told her, once he gets 6 weeks old, we're going to write him a policy. So I already have a calendar scheduled, or an appointment on my calendar scheduled, where I'm going to reach out to her in 6 weeks, and we're going to see if we can get him covered based on the actual day he was born. So those small policies do add up. You also want to continue working so you can get your commissions, especially off a level business. You'll get it before Christmas, so that way you can pay off your Christmas debt. I know you have a lot of agents that may have smaller kids at home. And let's face it, those small kids, they want a lot for Christmas, especially now with technology. Everybody wants a phone or an iPad or a new laptop or a new desktop. So you can work harder now, so that way you can get your commissions, pay off that Christmas debt, and you'll start the year off right. So some of the things I've put down also is that the holidays are a hidden opportunity. Structure creates sales. Momentum beats motivation. So just because you're motivated, you want to have the momentum and have action behind that motivation. You want to track everything. You want to December winners own January. And you want to finish with certainty, not excuses. In this business, you don't want to be like your clients, always having an excuse or a way to put things off. Just get her done, as Larry the Cable Guy would say. So finish strong, start stronger, and let's end this year out strong, where we can have a great year. A great end of year, a great December, so that way we can start the January season off right. AEP is ending next week, so this is a great time to start now, reaching out to people. Make sure if you're doing outbound dials, you still reach out to people. Try to strive for a minimum of 100 dials a day. I say minimum, that's very minimum. I'm doing 200, sometimes 300 dials. And when I say dials, I'm actually double dialing. So it's actually maybe 600 dials because I'm double dialing. And I'm constantly rinsing and repeat. And I have that dialer on automated dials. And when someone answers, it automatically comes to me. So I do that every day. And that really helps me keep on track, keep focus on my goals, so that way I can eat that elephant one bite at a time. So now when I track my yearly numbers, I have reached my yearly goal by making sure every day I'm staying structured, persistent, consistent, and building tangible ways to work smarter, not harder.